Here now are the starting lineups. First for Iowa State at forward, a 6'5" senior, number 43, Tom Peterson. And for Ohio State at forward, a 6'5" sophomore, number 32, Dennis Hopson. For Iowa State at forward, a 6'5" freshman, number 44, Jeff Grayer. And for Ohio State at forward, a 6'8" senior, number 42, Joe Concheck. For the Cyclones at center, a 6'9" sophomore, number 33, Sam Hill. And for the Buckeyes at center, a 7-foot junior, number 4, Brad Sellers. For Iowa State at guard, a 6'5" senior, number 35, Barry Stevens. And for Ohio State at guard, a 5'11" senior, number 12, Ronnie Stokes. For the Cyclones at guard, a 6'3" junior, number 14, Jeff Hornacek. And for the Buckeyes at guard, a 6-foot senior, number 14, Troy Taylor. The Iowa State Cyclones are coached by Johnny Orr and posted a 21-12 record.
Guard number 35 in the Ohio State Buckeyes key man is their 7-foot center, Brad Sellers. Jumping center will be Brad Sellers, the 7-footer, against Sam Hill at 6'9" for Iowa State. Ohio State 19-9 during the regular season, and Iowa State 21-12. Most wins ever in the history of the Cyclones.
And they're in love with Johnny Orr up there.
He walks out of the court and they play Johnny Carson's theme song. Here's Johnny. Tap controlled by Ohio State. Troy Taylor with the basketball, number 14. Stokes is number 12.
Man-to-man D. Typical Orr.
Here's Sellers inside. The jumper won't go, and the rebound pulled down by Iowa State's Jeff Grayer.
Right away in deep, though. Harry trying to take advantage of Sam Hill, who gets in foul trouble.
Iowa State with the ball. We've just underway round 1 action. NCAA Midwest Tourney. Here's a steal by Sellers. Taylor coming the other way for Ohio State. Wide open inside Hopson, and he lays it through. Hopson puts the Buckeyes up by 2.
Jeff Hornacek trying to go cross court over a 7-footer. A no-no.
Into the hands of Peterson. Sam Hill trying to make moves on the 7-footer. It didn't go, but the rebound shot did go.
Hey, Grayer's out of the gate strong, isn't he? Good rebound on the defensive end. Offensive follow.
Grayer just a freshman. We're tied at 2. 18:43 to play first half. Sellers. Yes, by the 7-foot Brad Sellers. Ohio State up by 2.
I'm keeping a stat, getting the ball inside. Twice in a half-court set now. They've gone right to Sellers.
Ball thrown away that time by Barry Stevens of Iowa State. It'll be Ohio State ball. The Ohio State guards, Bill, have to know one another. Troy Taylor and Ronnie Stokes. They've been playing as a backcourt tandem since the 7th grade.
I saw them 2 years ago in the NCAA. They're quick, they're tough, and they do have a feel for one another.
Basket will not count. The foul coming before the field goal attempt by Troy Taylor. It's called on Jeff Hornacek, his first. The officials for this afternoon's first game: Pete Pavia in the middle, Rusty Herring on the left, Sam Licklider on the right. Troy Taylor.
Sam Hill fronting in there.
Concheck shot well off the mark, and the rebound pulled down by Hornacek. Down quickly, Grayer lays it in, and Grayer has all 4 Iowa State points. We're tied at 4.
Joe Concheck mistimed that, or he would have had a steal. This just goes over his head, and alert, Jeff Grayer.
Back to live action as Troy Taylor penetrates and scores for Ohio State. The Buckeyes by 2. Ohio State putting pressure full court on the Iowa State guards. Stokes and Taylor, great quickness in the Ohio State backcourt.
They run a 2-3 or 2-1-2 offense now. High post man, long shot by Stevens.
Barry Stevens' first attempt will not go. The rebound grabbed by Dennis Hopson for the Buckeyes. Taylor tried to draw the foul, but he puts it through the net instead, and Taylor has 4, and Buckeyes lead by 4.
You're only supposed to do that in the NBA, pump fake from deep and make that goal.
Ohio State 5 for 6 from the field. They lead by 4. Here's Grayer, who has all 4 Iowa State points. Hornacek well off the mark. Rebound snared, though, by Stevens, and an offensive foul is going to be called on Barry Stevens.
You can see Barry Stevens goes where he likes to. He took the long jump shot, ends up inside. No question with the shoulder sticking right in there. Good call. But Stevens has a right to shoot or go any place he wants. Good coaching.
Ohio State up by 4. We have 16:40 to play first half. Troy Taylor. Concheck. Ronnie Stokes.
Dave Jones in the ball game.
Stokes in and out. Tap in, yes, by Sellers. Brad Sellers.
They go with Jones. It's a three guard look. He's a very good defensive player. If Stevens gets going, you're liable to see him on him.
10-4, Ohio State, a 6-point lead. Inside, Stevens will not go, and Jones pulls down the rebound for Ohio State. Stevens 0 for 3 from the field. Taylor, nope. Rebound battle 4, picked up by Sam Hill. Out to Hornacek. Hornacek in a hurry, and he's fouled. The foul is called on Troy Taylor, his first, the team's first in the half.
Now, Jeff Hornacek got away with a bad move there. He dribbled right into the traffic. He's lucky he didn't get a turnover. Taylor upset with the call, but he should have kept it in his right hand. He had the danger on his left.
Hornacek with the ball. He was an all-Big 8 second team selection.
The high post set.
Off the hands of Hill, out of bounds. It'll be Ohio State ball, and Iowa State playing a little tentative. But Bill Raftery, this is their first NCAA tournament in 41 years. So
and I found out who the coach was.
Who was?
Louis Mentz.
Louis Mentz.
M-E-N-Z-E. They've named an award after him.
They did go to the NIT last year. That had been their first postseason play in 40 years.
And John Orr said that juiced up his program. Just that invite.
Stokes, Troy Taylor in the backcourt for Ohio State. Great quickness. Troy Taylor has 6 points, and Ohio State leads by 8.
Well, Taylor and Stokes can create more offense on their own than you can set up on a blackboard. Very good penetrators, read things well.
Iowa State not handling well at all in the early going. They trail by 4, 14:48 to play first half. Here's Grayer inside. Basket's going to count, and he's fouled, and Grayer is keeping Iowa State in this game single-handedly. Stokes picks up the foul.
I'm looking for Stevens to go in tight like Jeff Grayer does here. The mismatch with Stokes, Stevens has Taylor, so we might see him posting up a little bit.
Jeff Grayer will be shooting one, trying to make it a 3-point play. He's a 65% free throw shooter. He has all 6 Cyclone points, give him 7. And we have a timeout on the court with the score. Ohio State 12 and Iowa State 7. Well, Well, in the East Regionals at Hartford, Connecticut, Lehigh having a little trouble with the Hoyas' defense, which comes as no surprise. Bill Raftery, 39-11 at the half.
I read where Bill Cosby gave some advice to the Lehigh coach. He said, don't plan on making the finals, Tommy Schneider. But a great opportunity for Lehigh's athletic program. And once you're in it, though, you wish you weren't when you played Georgetown.
That might have them scurrying for the record books. The fewest points scored in an NCAA tournament game. 12-7 we are. Ohio State leading. They get it into the big man, Brad Sellers. A lot of moves, and he is fouled by Sam Hill.
You love to see your postman turn and create something for himself. Turn around, face that man. The square up, nice step across, good-looking move. And Sellers isn't a physical player, but he looks like he's a finesse player.
Ohio State leading by 5. They are 7 for 10 from the field. Sellers, a 78% free throw shooter. Good free throw shooter for a big man, and he has 5 points.
You know, Harry, as you know, the black band there on the shoulder of Brad Sellers, all the team has it for the Associate Athletic Director Dick Delaney, who worked about 15 years at Ohio State and passed away last month, so our condolences to his family.
Brad Sellers with 6 points, and Ohio State leading by 7. Pressure by Ohio State. Here's Grayer. Grayer has been all of the Cyclones offense. He has all 7 points for Iowa State.
Dave Jones reminds me of an Ohio State basketball player. Strong, good-looking pass.
Great pass from Grayer inside for the easy 2 for Sam Hill, and Grayer's doing it all for Johnny Orr. The freshman has all the points and a key assist there.
And, of course, you're expecting your upperclassmen to be relaxed. Grayer's the one providing the spark.
14-9 Ohio State. Buckeyes with the ball. Troy Taylor. Here's Sellers. Sellers with the moves. Up and not that time. And Grayer pulls down the rebound. Good steal by Jones. But a steal by Jones. Re-stolen by Grayer, who's doing everything. Stevens stops and pops. Yes, by Barry Stevens.
That might get him out of the gate. Good-looking stroke that time. But Iowa State, not bad defensively. They're getting the ball in deep, Ohio State, but Iowa State known for the defense.
3-point Ohio State lead. Jones looking inside, always to Sellers. Sellers decides to get it back out to Stokes.
Well, Sam Hill staying on the floor, and that's helped him.
Stokes from way outside.
Sam Hill isn't going for the fakes. You notice that up and under move earlier. He's staying on the floor. Good defense.
5-point Buckeye lead. 12:42 to play first half.
Man-to-man still by Ohio State. Brad Sellers plays a lot of zone back there, too. You might see Sam Hill getting free.
Underneath goes Stevens. Stevens now 2 quick baskets for Iowa State. He's in the flow, and it's 16-13 Ohio State. 12:19 left to play first half.
It looks like the philosophy is to let the ball get into Sellers and stay down.
Jones will not go. Hornacek aggressively with a rebound for Iowa State. Hornacek all the way inside, decides to take it. It doesn't go. Rebound Hill, turnaround jumper, yes.
He came all the way from the top of the key. Great effort by Sam Hill.
A 1-point Ohio State lead. A lot of Cyclone fans are here, and they are on their feet at the Navy Center.
They extended the defense a little. Penetration by Taylor. Hill got caught helping out.
Hopson picking up the foul on Sam Hill, and that is Sam Hill's second, and Sam Hill has fouled out, Bill, of 12 games this year.
You pointed that out to me yesterday, and you can see why. He's active. He's looking to help his teammate out. A lot of times the center will incur the foul by doing his job or helping a teammate.
Hopson will be shooting a pair. He's a 73% free throw shooter. Now with 2 fouls, Sam Hill is going to sit down. Checking in for Iowa State is David Moss, a 6'9" junior from Franklin Park, Illinois. Dennis Hopson averages 9 1/10 points per game, and he has the first one.
If Stevens gets rolling, I wouldn't be surprised. Dave Jones, known for his defensive ability plus his strength, he might wear him out a little. But they're concerned with Grayer. They've got Jones on Grayer, who's played very well early.
Ohio State by 3. We have 11.5 minutes remaining to be played first half. Hornacek sets it up.
Guards down and through.
Here's Stevens over Stokes. Perfect by Barry Stevens. What a touch, Bill Raftery.
Harry, you made a good point there, too. Over. He's got that 4 or 5 inches to play with. He's able to stroke it easily.
He's hit 3 in a row, and Ohio State's lead is 1 point. Of course, the guards for Ohio State not tall. Stokes and Taylor. He tried to draw the foul there, but Hopson, the opportunity basket.
What does that kill you when you play good defense, force the club into a bad shot, and you're not alert enough to pick up the rebound?
2017, Ohio State. Here's Grayer. Jones on him. Moss. Stevens. Yes.
That's right in front of us. You knew that was good.
Barry Stevens with 8. It's 2019 Ohio State.
He got the wake-up call a few minutes late.
He missed his first 4 shots. Since then has hit 4 in a row. Jones will take the shot. Nope. Rebound, though, to Concheck. Concheck inside the little man, Stokes, and he has 2. Ohio State by 3.
And fortunately for them, they've got a few offensive rebounds. They've been struggling with their offense.
Interesting in the man-to-man that Stokes is on Stevens. That's a good play by Jeff Grayer, who has 9.
Well, they're posting him up on Dave Jones. He's had a sensational 10 minutes.
Stokes is just 5'11", Stevens 6'5". 22-21. Grayer is 4 for 4 from the field.
Oh, they're going to call a walk. I love that move, though.
Traveling violation called on Concheck.
Great looking move, Harry. Unfortunately, a walk.
And there's a timeout on the court with the score. Ohio State 22, Iowa State 21. The use of this program without written consent is prohibited. The announcers for this program have been approved and contracted by NCAA Productions. Transportation arrangements provided through Buckeyes International Travel, the official travel agency of the 1985 NCAA basketball tournament. Iowa State 5 turnovers, is only 2 for Ohio State. Those came early, though.
They did. They've settled down. Jeff Hornacek, very reliable with the basketball. But interestingly enough, when they extended their defense to about three-quarter court and put the pressure on, they got themselves back in the game. Little switch here, zone by Ohio State. We'll try and check what it is. Looks like a 2-3.
Stevens in and out, rebound snared by Sellers. Ohio State by 1.
Stevens needs a rest. He missed one.
That won't go, and Grayer pulls down the rebound. What a performance by Grayer. Good pass inside. No. And the rebound is tipped out. No foul. Here's Taylor.
That could have been a technical foul. I'll explain in a second.
Whistle, we've got a foul inside.
Taylor wanted a goaltending there. He's down in the corner. Johnny Orr wants a tee. I'll tell you why. On that miss by Moss, the backboard was slapped. And, of course, then you're going to get a vibration and a miss. And this is the one, the ensuing play at the other end. They want a goaltending here. Good non-call.
Tom Peterson getting the call. Dennis Hopson will be shooting 2. Hopson has 6 points for Ohio State. Not that time, off the front of the rim. He'll get another one. That's the first free throw miss of the game. 22-21 Ohio State.
Hornacek with a terrific look and pretty good hands down the other end by David Moss. You don't agree with me on that tee, huh? I usually don't like that, but he did slap it. Made Iowa State miss the layup.
Well, yeah, you can call it tee. Yeah.
Or goaltending. Make it easier on yourself.
Hornacek with his first field goal of the afternoon, and the Buckeyes And the Cyclones are tied at 23.
Ronnie Stokes picked the dribble up prematurely there.
Troy Taylor down to the hands of Stokes. Here's Hopson. Turnaround jumper. Yes, by Hopson.
Power game.
Dennis Hopson has 9 points to lead the Buckeyes in scoring.
Now get it into your big people and let them work. Good square up.
We're tied at 25 with 7:44 left to play. First half.
Well, they're going to the workhorse.
Strong to the basket. Going to be a foul on Hopson. I think the basket is going to go, though. Basket will count.
Johnny Orr wanted player control, no basket. This is be nice to the rest of the family. Give one and get one at the other end. But they're going right in to their strength inside. And these two guards can deliver.
Hopson with 11 points to lead Ohio State. The Buckeyes by 2. Grayer has 11 for Iowa State. I'm impressed by Grayer, the freshman for the Cyclones.
Having a heck of a... Somebody forgot to tell him it was the NCAA.
Comes from the same school as Stevens, Flint, Michigan Northwestern. Grayer with the ball, 44. Here's Stevens. No, doesn't go. Follows his own shot. Yes, by Barry Stevens.
You can't relax.
10.
Johnny Orr, let them go. You can't relax when you're guarding Barry Stevens. Very active player. Enjoys. There's an enthusiasm about him.
5th time this game has been tied, but good penetration by Troy Taylor, who unties it, and he has 8. Ohio State by 2. We have 6:45 to play first half. Here's Grayer. Grayer, no one to pass to, puts it high off the glass. A little Troy Taylor comes down with a rebound.
Freshman shot.
Stokes, perfect by Stokes. Ronnie Stokes with 6, and Ohio State by 4.
Jeff Grayer figured everything else has gone in. I might as well try that one.
There's Johnny Orr.
Looks like a matchup.
Hornacek with the ball. Hopson on him. Off the fingers of Stevens. Nearly lost it out of bounds. Now inside to Grayer. Grayer fronts the basket. Grayer's there. He has 13.
Joe Concheck forgot to put his hand up. He played good defense. Once again, the pressure, it's been very helpful to Iowa State.
Grayer is 6 for 7 from the field. Ohio State by 2. Sellers. They haven't been able to get the ball into Sellers of late.
Little nickel dime foul out there. I think is going to go against Stokes.
That's who it is. It's on Ronnie Stokes, his second, the team's 3rd foul.
Had to push his arm out. Of course, that's opposite us. Eldon Miller not agreeing with the call at all.
9 years at Ohio State, 4 NCAA tournament bids and 2 NITs for Eldon Miller. Turnover's pretty close. Ohio State hadn't made one in Iowa State hadn't made one in a while.
1-2-2 now, and I think they're matching up out of it. They're exchanging people and playing the area. So Hopson stay outside here.
Stevens. Fall away jumper doesn't go. There's some pounding going inside, and a foul is called inside.
I think it'll be on the big man, Joe Concheck. He cleared.
That's who it is.
He peeled some people out. Eldon Miller got his start with Ray Mears, who later went to Tennessee. And, well, they're going to be engineers anyhow.
31-29.
Bad pass.
But Stevens somehow salvages it and leaves it in. Barry Stevens, a salvage job. He has a dozen.
That's not a typical Jeff Hornacek pass, but when you're good, things break for you.
We're tied at 31. Get it into Sellers. His moves. No, will not go. Rebound pulled down by Moss.
Great defense. They're helping out down low.
Iowa State can take the lead for the first time. 4:25 to play. First half. Get it underneath Grayer. He's fouled by Concheck.
You notice, Harry, that all of the Iowa State players can play that low post. They've got good inside moves, they're maneuverable, and they deliver the ball when the man is free. Good entry pass, and one of the few that doesn't go down for Jeff Grayer, having a scintillating first half.
Dave Jones checking back in, number 15 for Ohio State. Grayer at the line has 13 points. His career high is 20. He has 13 already. 4:20 to play here in the first half, and Grayer now at 14. Grayer, a freshman.
You haven't called Tom Peterson's name much, but they started him a couple of weeks ago, and all of a sudden the team came together for Iowa State, so he's a little bit of the glue needed to win.
Iowa State has taken a lead. A timeout on the court with the score. Iowa State 33, Ohio State 31. The Mabee Center in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Ohio State trailing by 2, but here's a quick 2 from one of their lightning quick guards, Ronnie Stokes.
Well, they haven't been able to run too much because Iowa State's getting good percentage shots. If they miss, they're either following or in position to balance the floor. So good half, good comeback by Iowa State.
Iowa State with 6 second chance points, as you saw on the screen. That's unusual because they do not have a real tall team. And here's a traveling violation called on Troy Taylor.
Referees hate that crossover move, but right there, Eldon Miller had Hopson low. He wanted the ball inside. Get it to Dennis.
Harry Stevens, he has 12 points. Almost all of the scoring for the Cyclones. Stevens and Grayer.
Dave Jones now on Barry Stevens. They're going to try and shut him out.
Well, that leaves Grayer to operate against Troy Taylor, and a height advantage there for Iowa State. They're going to post up Grayer, number 44. Stevens looking for it.
Good hand.
Stripped to the ball by Jones. Good defensive play by Jones.
You can see the competitiveness here. Dave Jones bellying up, taking away that baseline, the swipe, all ball. But he is rising to the occasion. He wants to shut Barry Stevens out.
In the hands of Hornacek, and right back out. Here's Grayer.
Well, they had the alley-oop set up.
Taylor on Grayer. Hornacek from way outside, dead solid, perfect.
He's got a peculiar release. It comes out spinning a little bit like a screwball, but he's dead on.
Iowa State 5-4. We have 3:10 left to play first half. Iowa State shooting 69% now from the field. Hopson, some good moves. Hopson for Ohio State with 13 to lead the Buckeyes.
I think the message is clear. Get it inside.
Kansas leading Ohio University by 11. Hopson 4 for 4 from the field for Ohio State. Moss. Eldon Miller wanted to travel, didn't get it, and Iowa State still has the ball.
Well, that's the end of that play where they use a guard around. Moss lost control.
There's Grayer. Not that time. It looked like 45. Moss was in the cylinder. Nothing called.
Sure did.
Ohio State could tie here with a field goal. We have 2:09. That's Troy Taylor, and he's got it. Troy Taylor with 10. We're tied at 35. The 7th tie of this first half. Minute 56 to play first half.
Little mismatch inside, Grayer.
And Troy Taylor. Stevens going to be called for a travel. It'll be Ohio State ball with 1:44 to play in the first half.
It doesn't get in the box score, Harry, but Dave Jones just outstanding footwork and a little extra footwork there, but really teeing it up.
Rebound battle for. There's Hopson, and what a half Hopson has had.
And Dennis Hopson had to change that shot. Very difficult.
Hopson has 15 to lead the Buckeyes, and Ohio State back on top by 2.
He found himself under the rim. Very tough spot to be in.
A rare shot taken by Peterson, and he makes, and we're tied at 37.
A little 2-2-1 most of this half. Back into man. Steps.
Walking violation on Troy Taylor. It'll be Iowa State ball with 1:01 left to play first half. Midwest Regional, we're tied at 37 with 44 seconds to play in the first half. Ohio State and Iowa State. Turnover by Iowa State, and the Buckeyes with the ball. Ronnie Stokes, number 12.
Eldon Miller mixed up the defenses, and Ohio State really handled Iowa State's run rather well. I thought Iowa State was in complete control, doing the things they wanted to do, but now without the shot clock holding.
Want to go out at halftime with a 2-point lead or a tie.
Exactly.
So they'll wind it down to about 10 and now start their offense. Stokes does that now, and he fires perfect by Ronnie Stokes. He has 8. And with 3 seconds left, the three-quarter Raftery, our statistician Elvin Lindblad, A.D. Dan Miles, 39-37, Ohio State by 2 at the half, and Bill Raftery, both are shooting sizzling percentages from the field.
The only performer not doing his job, I guess, is Brad Sellers, 2 for 6, but everybody, they're getting good shots. They're making them, obviously, and you mentioned to me when we were away, the officials letting them play. No one-on-one. It was enjoyable.
Yeah, it was. And a very close first half, and both of them shooting 61% from the field.
And really nothing stands out in the stats. Of course, Jeff Grayer with the game of his life. And I think that's because of the guards of Ohio State. Initially, they were able to get it inside to him. A little bit of a mismatch. And I guess, if anything, Dave Jones doing a wonderful job for Ohio State. I'm Barry Stevens the last couple of minutes, but there it is. Hopson with 15.
Hopson
and the guards.
6 for 6 from the field for his 15 points, 3 for 4 from the foul line. He is just 1 away from his career high, which is 16. There we see a final score in the East Regional from Hartford, Connecticut. No surprise there. The Hoyas over Lehigh, 68-43.
A walk in the park, huh, for Georgetown?
They are in a very tough regional, though. The East Regional has some outstanding teams. Georgia Tech, Illinois, DePaul, Syracuse.
Pretty tough is right. A little problem with the clock. Now the starting play. Ohio State man-to-man. Dave Jones on Barry Stevens.
39-37, second half just underway. Here's Grayer, who had such an outstanding first half. Grayer's high game is 20 points. He already has 15.
Well, you love players who take it as a challenge.
Hornacek inside, and he is fouled.
The big man, I think they're going to give it to Brad Sellers.
They are. Brad Sellers picks up his first.
Hornacek, who runs the show for the Cyclones, good penetration. He reads things very well, but getting back to Dave Jones, it's a challenge to him to play Stevens. You can see it. He's out there not to let him get the ball, and obviously he doesn't want him to score.
Hornacek, 85% free throw shooter, misses it. So he'll get another one. He has 4 points. Hornacek from LaGrange, Illinois, has 1 out of 2. He has 5 points. It's a 1-point Ohio State lead.
The pressure once again, and then the fade back.
Just kind of an irritant, not really going for the steal.
It's a tease.
Troy Taylor inside. The big man doesn't get the roll. His tap, no, and he's over the top. Foul called on Sellers, and he picks up 2 quick ones as he went over the top of Sam Hill.
It doesn't seem too long ago we saw Herb Williams and Clark Kellogg posted up for Ohio State just like that. He didn't get the roll, and in frustration, be over the top.
1 point Buckeye lead. The Cyclones can take the lead here. We're in the second half. 18:58 remaining to be played. Round one.
Jones forcing him out a little bit further.
And Jones does a nice job, as you mentioned. Stevens again, it loses the ball out of bounds.
What he did was he made Barry Stevens come out to about 25 feet to catch the pass. He had a long way to go to do anything.
Stevens has 12, most of those before Eldon Miller put Jones on him. Taylor, traveling violation.
I thought he was.
He ran into traffic. The defender had established position. You could have even called him maybe an offensive foul.
Walk, charge, or jump ball. You take. I think the walk was the correct one.
39-38. Ohio State by a point. Here's Stevens. No, it doesn't go, and the rebound grab by Sellers.
Well, they brushed Jones off a high post pick, freeing Stevens. That's his kind of shot.
Yes, by Troy Taylor.
And Dennis Hopson with a great pick there. Free.
Troy Taylor with 12. He's 6 for 8 from the field. Ohio State by 3. Ohio State's got an interesting change defensively, too. They've got Hopson now on Grayer. Grayer shoots it over the helping out Sellers and makes it, and Grayer now with 17.
He just lost Dennis Hopson. Terrific cut.
Grayer is 7 for 9 from the field. Here's Stokes. Basket counts, and he is fouled.
He got caught between floors on this one.
Suspending in air,
he went
Ronnie Stokes.
Waited for Jeff Hornacek to whack him on the top of the head, then release the kiss shot.
10 for Stokes. He can make it a three-point play. He has 73% free throw shooter this season. And Stokes puts Ohio State on top by 4 with 17:27 remaining to be played. Coming in for the first time for Iowa State is Gary Thompkins. And going out for the Cyclones is Tom Peterson. Thompkins is a 6'3.5" freshman from Jackson, Michigan. There's an overguarding foul called on Stokes, and for him, that'll be his 3rd personal foul. Team foul number 3.5 on Ohio State.
I'm sure the Ohio Staters, you look at the final, low scoring. Defensive battle, or did they slow it down?
Ohio University might have played very patiently, I would guess.
Could have been.
Here's Grayer inside. That shot, no, from too far out, probably by Hill. And Ohio State fast break. Basket's going to count. Goaltending. The fast break basket will go to Stokes on a goaltending violation. Stokes with 13.
Now that shot by Sam Hill, a long jump shot with nobody back. He was the last man. The guards were down underneath in their set. I'm sure John Orr would not like him to take that shot again.
Ohio State by 6, 16:50 remaining. Tompkins rejected by Sellers. It'll be Iowa State ball.
Nice read and reaction by the center, Brad Sellers.
What Ohio State's Eldon Miller did is put Hopson on Grayer in the second half. Used his little men even on a bigger guy, Tom Peterson, but Peterson doesn't shoot. So Johnny Orr tried to get more offense in with Tompkins.
Well, he started early in the year.
Ohio State up by 6, and they have the ball. 16.5 minutes remaining. Perfect by Troy Taylor. Taylor with 14. And the Buckeyes have opened up an 8-point lead. They led by 2 at halftime, and Johnny Orr is going to call a timeout. So there's a timeout on the court with the score, Ohio State 48, Iowa State 40. 48-40, Ohio State leading by 8 with 16-17 remaining to be played. Ohio State in the second half, 4 for 4 from the field, and Iowa State just 1 out of 6, and hence the 8-point Ohio State lead.
What the guards are doing for Iowa State is faking and trying to take away the inside game, and now the guards are starting to make them pay for it. So a little bit of a dilemma now for Iowa State.
The guards, Troy Taylor and Ronnie Stokes of the Buckeyes, have all second half points. Iowa State down by 8. Inside, they look to Stevens. An off-balance shot goes for Barry Stevens. His first field goal of the half. He has 14. Ohio State up by 6.
Well, they have to go to him. He's got to get free. Davy Jones is like a vest on Barry Stevens, though.
Here's Hopson inside. Over Grayer, won't go. Ball deflected, and Grayer picks it up. So the 2-point producers in the first half, Grayer and Hopson, are going head-to-head in the second half.
And these two banging one another in a low post.
Stevens, no, and the rebound grab by Sellers.
Davy Jones forced Barry Stevens out again, a few feet. They're going to hold up play. What happened was Troy Taylor was trying to come back to get the basketball, and Sam Hill ran over him. Didn't see him.
Troy Taylor is okay. Ohio State will inbound the ball at midcourt, leading by 6 with 15-18 remaining to be played. Troy Taylor, he penetrates. Basket counts, and he is fouled by Stevens. Troy Taylor having a fine game. He has 16, and Stevens picks up his second personal.
You can't imagine how hard this is, Harry. The man's on his right, Barry Stevens. He's able to pull the ball to his left and then deliver it while hanging. Something you and I would never imagine doing.
I have my hang time is almost subliminal. Troy Taylor now is 17.
Of course, defensively, you've done a good job to put the man up there in that position. When he makes it and then adds a free throw, it's frustrating.
A 9-point Ohio State lead.
See where he's getting the ball now? He's way out, 25 feet away.
Here's Grayer with Hopson on him.
It's going to be Dave Jones. He's fighting for post position.
Jones over guarding Stevens, but he has done a fine job. He's staying right on his numbers. Jones picks up his first. That's the team's 4th in the half.
Overzealous.
Hornacek will inbound for Iowa State at a 9-point Ohio State lead. The Buckeyes led by 2 at the half.
Hopson's kept Grayer very quiet.
Here's Grayer over Hopson, no, and the rebound grab by Sellers. So at both ends, Hopson tried to get it over Grayer, no. And Grayer tried to get over Hopson, no, and Hornacek will pick up a foul for Hornacek. That is his 3rd personal foul. The team's 3rd in the half.
Ball out in the midcourt area, trying to strip the man. Just a slap away.
So Hornacek with 3 fouls. Ronnie Stokes of Ohio State 3 fouls. The Buckeyes with a 9-point lead. Ohio State led the Big Ten in scoring this year, averaging 76 and 9/10 points per game.
Well, they take very good shots. They get it in tight.
Foul on Thompkins.
And they end up with very easy jump shots. Once it's dumped in, they step into a shooting area. So they do shoot well, but they also take great shots.
Troy Taylor having a fine game. He has 17 points, but he missed that one. He's an 80% free throw shooter. Taylor's high game this year, 25 against Minnesota.
Iowa State's got to hope that Ohio State forces some shots so they can run the ball, get a little more upbeat.
Unusual to see Taylor miss 2 of them, especially the way he did. He missed them badly.
Good help by Sellers.
Stevens rejected by Sellers, and they come hard the other way. Stokes, Hopson, a reaching in foul called on Grayer. for Grayer, his first, and Iowa State's 15th foul and a half.
Down the end, Barry Stevens going to have to dump the basketball off to Sellers' man. Here the reach in by Grayer, of course, coming down the floor late, but on offense now. And I think John Orr's taking Barry Stevens out just to calm him down, relax him, and say when somebody comes and pinches or traps you, dish it off to that free man.
Ron Virgil comes in replacing Stevens. They attempt the alley-oop, and it's broken up nicely by Jeff Grayer. Here's Thompkins. Fall away jumper, yes, by Thompkins.
That's what they need, more tempo.
51-44 Ohio State. Here's Taylor, and he is fouled by Thompkins. Thompkins picking up his second foul. That is the team's 6th in the half.
Both guards put tremendous pressure on you. When you're guarding them defensively, they come at you, they turn corners, they get in the middle of things, and when they hear that whistle, they release.
Ronnie Stokes is the all-time Ohio State steals leader, but he's only 2 ahead of his running tandem Troy Taylor. In assists, they go 2 and 3.
Now that could have been an intentional violation of the rule.
Troy Taylor, who has missed 2 in a row at the line, misses 3 in a row. He's an 80% free throw shooter, unlike him. Misses another one, 4 in a row, missed by Troy Taylor.
No wonder Stokes wanted to go to the free throw line.
Iowa State down by 7, 13 and a half to play in the game. Hornacek, win and out, won't go, and Hopson pulls down the rebound, but he lost it out of bounds.
Jeff Hornacek, right in the middle of things, created that turnover. Ohio State now calling the timeout. Dave Jones getting the signal from Eldon Miller.
So there's a timeout on the court at the Maybe Center with the score. Ohio State 51 and Iowa State 44. Well, a 2-point Ohio State lead at halftime is now standing at 7, largely because of those figures you see on the screen, the second half field goal shooting percentage.
Ohio State defensively, too, tightening the screw. Good time for a run now by the Cyclones.
Johnny Orr does not send his prolific scoring Barry Stevens back in after the timeout. He is still on the bench. Virgil, no, and the rebound pulled down by Ohio State.
One shot when they do shoot. Sellers got hit in the head. They're just checking him out. They'll probably, to eliminate the timeout, substitute for him.
Brad Sellers, a 7-foot junior from Warrensville Heights, Ohio.
Well, you can't win if you don't get second chances, and very few for the Cyclones. Right there, the little slaps, unintentional. Brad Sellers' face.
Now Barry Stevens has checked back in for Iowa State. Ohio State by 7, 13:08 remaining to be played. Jones from outside. Nope. Sellers the rebound, though. Keeps it alive for the Buckeyes.
Hopson hasn't touched the ball much. Jeff
Grayer's been all over
He
it.
has.
Here's that matchup. Hopson the moves. Up and over Grayer. Won't go. And Mills loses the rebound to Sellers. Back up, yes, by Sellers.
Good hustle in there. Sam Hill couldn't come out clean.
Sellers with 8. Ohio State by 9. Grayer right back out to Hornacek. Hornacek. Thompkins from outside. It goes for Thompkins.
Boy, what penetration will do for you. Draw the man and give it off.
Gary Thompkins with 4 off the bench. Ohio State's lead is 7. We have 12:10 left to play. Here's Sellers right back out to Jones. Troy Taylor. That will not go. And the rebound pulled down by Grayer. And what a great game Grayer has played. Grayer leads Iowa State in rebounding and scoring, and he's held down Hopson in the second half defensively. .53-46 Ohio State. Hornacek, he's going to be way short. The rebound stolen from Hill by Sellers.
He was behind him. An outstanding rebound.
53-46, 7-point Buckeye lead. We have 11:20 remaining to be played. Sellers now with 9 rebounds. Here's his pivot move. It doesn't go, and the rebound grabbed by the ubiquitous Jeff Grayer. Stevens,
that's
perfect.
One of the few times, Harry, they've been able to rebound pitch and get Stevens down that corner.
Stevens has 16. It's a 5-point Ohio State lead. 10:50 remaining to be played. Here's Hopson right back out to Stokes. That won't go, and the rebound pulled down by Sam Hill. Iowa State coming the other way. Hornacek stops and pops. He's way short, and Hopson a stationary rebound.
Jeff Hornacek, now we watched him yesterday. He was making all those perimeter jump shots, and John Orr not happy with the shooting, but he may drill a few before the day's over.
Ohio State by 5. Here's Hopson. Great move past Grayer that time for the basket.
All Grayer had to do was take away the baseline. The trap came from the outside. He gave up the baseline. Very bad defense there.
And Hopson has recorded a career-high 17 points. 55-48 Ohio State. Here's Grayer. Hill is stripped of the ball by Stokes and out of bounds. It was last touched by Hill. It will be Ohio State ball.
He may have lost that by all on his own. Down the baseline, Stokes comes from good. Looked like he got a piece of it, or I thought otherwise.
Ohio State with the ball in a 7-point lead. Sellers is fouled underneath, and the foul is going to be on Grayer, his second. In the Midwest Regional from Tulsa, Oklahoma, Mabee Center. Welcome to our viewers watching on ESPN. The Ohio State Buckeyes, who led by 2 at halftime, have opened up a 7-point lead over the Iowa State Cyclones, and Brad Sellers will be shooting 2. He has 8 points. Ohio State being led in scoring by Dennis Hopson. He has a career-high 17. Iowa State being led in scoring by Jeff Grayer, also with 17, the freshman for Iowa State. Barry Stevens, third leading scorer in the Big 8 this year, has 16.
Reminded you of Cedric Maxwell stroking without the basketball before the free throw. But you mentioned Jeff Grayer. He didn't let Sellers dunk that basketball. Sellers had a drop step to the goal, a good give-up foul.
Sellers with 10 points. He'll take a seat on the bench, and checking back in for Eldon Miller will be Joe Concheck. 57-48, Ohio State by 9. Here's Stevens. Ball away jumper by Barry Stevens. He has 18.
No mystery there. Clear it out and give Barry the ball.
7-point lead for Ohio State. 17 points for Troy Taylor, number 14 this afternoon. The fake and the shot. No, rebound snared physically by Tom Peterson for Iowa State.
Good luck.
Thompkins inside to Grayer, and Grayer, good move to the basket. He has 19.
Well, Barry Stevens didn't deliver, but Gary Thompkins did. Bang! Into the post. Quick square up. Knock it down.
Grayer 8 for 11 from the field is the freshman. 5-point Ohio State lead. We have 8:29 left to play. Here's Stokes.
Good help.
Jones is wide open for the shot, and he drills it.
He looked like he was out of bounds over there.
Jones doesn't take many. That's his first field goal of the afternoon. He's 1 for 4 from the field, and the Buckeyes back up by 7.
He's still working hard, forcing Barry Stevens away from the basketball as much as he can.
That's his job for Eldon Miller, not to shoot the ball necessarily, but to play Barry Stevens. Stevens from way outside. The opportunity rebound picked up by Grayer, who has been by far the best player for the Cyclones this afternoon. He's done it all. Here's Stevens off the glass. Yes. Basket's going to count, and a foul is going to be called inside on Virgil.
And really, this is one of the few times that Stevens gets away, and that's a hustle mistake, really. Dave Jones working hard, got hung up on the pick there by Tom Peterson. Underneath Virgil, and they will shoot it. We finally have one, huh?
This is the first 1-and-1 of the afternoon. Stokes will come to the line shooting 1-and-1. He is a 73% free throw shooter. Stokes, if he makes these 2 free throws, will tie for 16th on the all-time Ohio State scoring list with a pretty decent player, a guy by the name of John Havlicek.
I was looking through their book, some of the old pictures. Bobby Knight with the crew cut, being seated.
14 for Stokes. He has them both. He has 15, and he's tied Havlicek for 16th on the all-time Ohio State list.
Now, a little added pressure on the coaches. When, if you have a lead, do you start milking the clock a little bit?
No shot clock in the NCAAs.
I'm sure they practice some sort of a delay. The problem is when to do it. Obviously, too soon now. Another clear out.
Rejected by Sellers. It'll be Iowa State ball.
All right, now Barry Stevens has to play within himself. Now he's forcing, and of course, Dave Jones getting some assistance. Brad Sellers over, but he has to play within that team concept. That's how they got here. Now he's got to look for his teammate when they double.
Stevens has 20 points, 10 for 20 from the field. Here's Grayer, turnaround jumper, that doesn't go, and Troy Taylor, the little man, pulls down the rebound for Ohio State. Buckeyes by 7. We have 6:50 left to play.
Double post all ball game.
Cross court. Jones open, and Jones hits it, and Ohio State back up by 9 points with 6.5 minutes left to play.
Jones sort of hangs around, picks up the crumbs. They go helping out. He finds a hole.
Underneath Stevens. Foul's going to be called on Troy Taylor. That'll be his 3rd, the team's 5th in the half.
Now Stevens made an excellent cut here. Playing without the basketball, he'll get more things than bouncing himself into trouble. A little touch. Troy Taylor. Nickel dime.
They don't call forcing someone out of bounds anymore, do they?
That's the one I'd like back.
Great move by Stevens.
Inside. Don't get him the basketball.
He has 22. Ohio State leads by 7 with 6:10 left to play. Here's Sellers. Sellers, the post move on Hill, no, and the tied up ball, alternate possession, belongs to Ohio State, so they'll keep the ball with position inside.
Sam Hill stayed on the floor after the first move of the ball game. He's forced Brad Sellers to do everything away from the basket, keeping position.
Ohio State keeps the ball on the alternate possession, leading by 7. Here's Sellers again. Fall away jumper, in and out. A reach over the top foul is going to be called on John Concheck. That's Ohio State's 6th team foul, so Iowa State will inbound, and the next Ohio State foul will Joe Concheck, will result on 1-on-1 shooting.
You notice the cushion, though. Plenty of room between Hill and Sellers. Smart, making him turn and forcing him to shoot the jump shot. He's not letting him go to the glass.
7-point Buckeye lead. 5.5 minutes remaining to be played.
Jones, look how far out Stevens is. Out of the picture.
Ball batted away from Hill, but picked up on the court by Grayer. Now here's Stevens with Jones on him. He'll take the jumper. It will not go. Hornacek. The rebound. Traveling violation called on Hornacek, and it'll be Ohio State ball.
At times, Iowa State has tried to win it by themselves. Running down the rebound, you can see he forgot to put the ball down before he picked up his pivot foot. Good call. They've gone on their own more so than I'm sure John Orr would like.
For Hornacek, it's been a frustrating game. He has just 5. He averages close to 13 per game. As we look at the turnovers, Iowa State with 11, Ohio State with 9.
Dave Jones has almost forced Iowa State to play a 4-man game. He's really forced Stevens out. Little rolling hook.
Rolling hook by Sellers, and he has 12. And again, the lead for Ohio State is 9.
Tough shot.
Tough shot, but it goes, and that's 24 for Barry Stevens. He's just set a new Iowa State season scoring record. 738 points. The old record 737, held by Herkel Ivey in the 74-75 season.
Jones getting a rest for the stretch. He's going to have to play some belly up the last 2 minutes.
7-point Ohio State lead the Buckeyes with the ball. No shot clock, bear in mind. 5-second violation is called on Troy Taylor.
What happened was Dennis Hopson posted up with Jeff Hornacek, and he wanted the basketball. They forgot all about the time.
From maybe center, a timeout on the court with a score. Ohio State 65, Iowa State 58. Led by 2 at halftime. They now have a 7-point lead. 4:09 left to play. Midwest Regional round 1. There you see the free throw shooting in the second half. The Buckeyes 6 for 11. Iowa State has only attempted 2 and made 1 of them.
They have very little inside play today. Sam Hill really not a post-up player with a man like Sellers guarding him. So they've been shooting that perimeter shot other than Grayer posting up low.
Almost half to a near steal by Joe Concheck.
Cleared out the coaching
staff. Knocked one of the assistant coaches over for Iowa State. Jim Hallahan, Rick Wesley, Steve Antrim, the assistants for Johnny Orr. Todd Lander and Randy Ayers and Jim Clemens, the assistants for Eldon Miller. Ohio State by 7.
Oh, good defense and backcourt.
Backcourt
Great
violation
job
called
by
on
Ronnie Stokes.
Yeah.
He forced it. He did a good job. He did just as Jones had done. Force him deep. And it's a shame that Barry Stevens hasn't had an A game because, as you know from yesterday, he can really play.
Hadn't had an A game, and yet he has 24 points, but that's not always the story of the game. He has shot the ball about 22 times.
I think he's a great prospect.
No question. Now, if you're going to start fouling as far as Iowa State's concerned, you do not want to foul Dave Jones. He comes into this tournament with 21 consecutive free throws made.
And they're milking now. Running the clock. They got to buckle up, play their own man. Good trap, and he actually stepped out of bounds, but they call walk.
Traveling violation. Down on the court is Ronnie Stokes. He's shaken up. He's called for a travel.
Now that's that lump that I pointed out to you. Believe it or not, we did our open there. Remember I showed you the little lump by the sideline?
Yeah, you said it was warped, the floor.
It's just, there's a little rise. And that
right near the out-of-bounds line. That's right in front of us.
That call got a rise out of Eldon Miller.
3:22 left to play. Iowa State with the ball, trailing by 7.
They got to score quickly and tee it up. They just can't get the ball to Stevens.
Now, they got to try to get it to Stevens or Grayer.
Repetition, right?
Here's Grayer.
They've used about 25 seconds, and they're trying to get it in. The kick bails them out.
2:48. They've used far too much time, trailing by 7.
Maybe Jones is like a hair shirt or hair on Barry Stevens.
Out of bounds.
Oh, boy, great.
Off Grayer, it'll be Ohio State ball, and good defense by the Buckeyes.
Excellent defense. They've just taken it to Iowa State on that end of the floor. Denying, forcing them out further, taking away cuts, and very little low post play the second half.
Iowa State calls a timeout, so there's a timeout on the court with the score. Ohio State 65 and Iowa State 58. Buckeyes led by 2 at the half. They now lead by 7.
4 to score. Spread the floor.
All the way inside is Stokes. Now that foul's going to be on Stokes. Defensive position had been established by Grayer. I think the basket does count, however.
So I like them to take it away. Make your decision. If you want it as a charge, no goal. But this way, I really think you keep both coaches happy. You keep them off your back. Make a decision. Turn in the corner on their spread, 4 to score. And I'm sure Eldon Miller would have preferred no shot there. Take it out, bring it back. Only a wide open layup.
Jeff Grayer, the freshman who's had an outstanding game for Iowa State, does not get the free throw. That's about the first mistake he's made all game.
Right now, the defense is so essential. Gambling in the backcourt there, but they've got to play their own man and wait for somebody to turn their back on the dribble and then run a trap and a rotation with the 3-man. Here's the loop around. Gary Thompkins just trying to come up and swipe the ball. Inadvertent poke in the chin.
Troy Taylor shooting. He is just 1 for 5 from the free throw line. Unlike him, because during the regular season he's been an 80% free throw shooter. He's now 1 for 6, and good effort by Hopson, but he can't hang on.
Some hustle. He was on the outside spot on the free throw lane all the way to the corner. No denying him.
Ohio State by 9. 2:15 left to play. From way outside. Won't go, but Stevens has his own rebound. He'll fire again. Nope. And he gets it again. But he steps on the out-of-bounds line. It'll be Ohio State ball.
Of course, those are all 4 shots. They've got to get the ball up quickly. You can't blame him at this point in the game. But early on, he took a couple of those, and I think the defense frustrated him.
9-point Ohio State lead, and the Buckeyes have the ball. With the lead, Ohio State tough. 2 great ball handlers in Taylor and in Stokes. Almost an ill-advised pass by Jones.
The loop, tantalizing. And the big guys just have to stay at home. Good trap. They call a timeout. Heads-up play by Brad Sellers. 7-footers aren't supposed to do that.
He did call a timeout. We have 1:35 left to play in the game. And there's a timeout on the court with a score. Ohio State 67, Iowa State 58. Ohio State leading by 9. We have 1:35 remaining to be played. Round 1, NCAA Midwest Regional at Mabee Center. And we wish to take this opportunity to thank the tournament manager here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Larry Koschel, tournament media coordinator Don Ott, Max Urich, AD at Iowa State, head basketball coach Johnny Orr, SID Kirk Hendricks, and from Ohio State, AD Rick Bay, head basketball coach Eldon Miller, SID Marv Holman, and a foul here is called on Ronnie Stokes. That'll be his 4th. And also assisted SID at Ohio State, Steve Snap.
They threw the home run pass to Barry Stevens. They've been unable to get much going on the break. Good floor balance by Ohio State, and of course that's all brought about by good shot selection.
Going to the free throw line for the first time, Barry Stevens. He has 24 points. Second in the Big 8 career scoring to only Wayman Tisdale. And there's Grayer again with a good offensive board, and he's fouled by Jones. So Grayer will be shooting 1-on-1. Jeff Grayer, the freshman for Iowa State, has had a magnificent game for Johnny Orr. He is 6'5" out of Flint, Michigan Northwestern.
Johnny still has some ties back there. Does a little recruiting.
He has 20 points. That ties his career high against Mankato State and Missouri this year. So one more, and he has a career high.
Well, Barry Stevens, who we mentioned not having an A game, the full court trap now, and the hip. Peterson, Tom Peterson down there trying to close the trap. He should look at this tape, the trap and ensuing foul, but Stevens should look at this tape, and the solace in it would be to understand, to play within the framework of the team. He got away a little bit, I thought, and that's sort of, then the defense, he got frustrated. He knows he's valuable to this club. He wants to be a leader, and you can be, but in a relaxed way.
Well, as they always say, let the game come to you, which he did not. Of course, also one of the problems for Iowa State is that Jeff Hornacek, who is usually one of their good scorers, averaging close to 13 a game, did not have his game offensively either.
No, so those are the two guns, and they're really in trouble when they don't perform up to their standards.
19 points for Ronnie Stokes, Ohio State by 9. Here's a man that did perform up to his standards. Grayer, he forces one there, and the rebound grab by Sellers. Ohio State by 9 with just a minute 15 left, and that's going to be a foul on Hornacek. It'll be his 4th, and it'll send to the line one of the lightning quick guards for Ohio State, Ronnie Stokes.
Iowa State, when they needed the big goal, that would have helped them. I think 69-62, they could have called a timeout, maybe done some damage. They haven't been able to convert that big basket.
For Ronnie Stokes and Troy Taylor, this is their 119th game for each of them at Ohio State. They have been teammates since 7th grade. From Canton, Ohio, McKinley. Eldon Miller is going to think it's very strange next year when he looks around and his two guards, Stokes and Taylor, are not around. He'll miss them.
He's been accustomed to some pretty sound, heady backcourt leadership.
Yeah, not great size. Stokes 5'11", Taylor 6 foot even. But great quickness, good defense.
Good play. Dave Jones helping the official, pointing the right direction.
Fine defensive play by Jones, and Ohio State now with an 11-point lead and the ball with 1:12 left to play.
Little keep away now. Hey, Dave Jones may not look like much in the box score tomorrow. They called a walk first here.
Traveling called on Taylor.
But he was the key man for Ohio State, in my mind, Dave Jones.
But for Johnny Orr, although it looks like he's going to lose this round 1 game, it's been a great season for the Cyclones. The most wins in their history, 21.
He's got the program about face.
We have a foul inside.
Jeff Grayer just wrapping those big arms. Of course, those two teed up all night, huh? Dennis Hopson and Jeff Grayer.
Grayer with 21 points, a career high. Hopson with 17, also a career high. Eldon Miller in his 9th year at Ohio State. Spent 8 years at Wittenberg, 6 at Western Michigan.
Very relaxed, isn't he, with his club? Before the game, he was a little uptight. Saw him in the hallway.
Now Stevens is going to be taken out. He'll leave the game with 24 points. And the Iowa State fans give him a standing ovation for his efforts. Barry Stevens leaves the game with 24. Big 8's second all-time scorer behind only Wayman Tisdale, who we'll see here later. Hopson now with 18, a career high for him. Hopson with 19, and Ohio State leading now by 13 with less than a minute to play. Ooh, a slam dunk by LaFester Rhodes, a 6'8" freshman from Memphis, Tennessee. Pretty much let him get in there. They work it right back out. Clock ticking down with less than 30 seconds. Here's a dunk at the other end by Sellers, and Sellers now with 14.
The finishing touch.
Wes Wallace is in now for Iowa State. That's Wallace with the ball, and he is fouled. He is fouled by Jones, and for Jones, that'll be his 3rd, and Wallace will come to the line. And he will be shooting 1-on-1.
Always in the middle of things today. They play a lot with Jones as a small forward or a 3-guard lineup. And it's been effective.
Wes Wallace is Iowa State's bench captain. He's a 6'2 senior from Evanston, Illinois, and he doesn't get that one. And the battle on the boards is picked up by Iowa State's Eli Parker, and he drops it in. Eli Parker. 75-64, Ohio State, just 6 seconds remaining. Also in for Iowa State is Raynal Harris, a 6'6 senior from Chicago, Illinois, Martin Luther King High School. And Ohio State takes Troy Taylor out. Checking in for the Buckeyes, Eldon Miller, is Jim Honigford, a 6'5 junior walk-on from Coldwater, Ohio. Also checking in is Scott Anderson, a 6'4 freshman from Marion, Iowa.
Not to be forgotten, playing in the NCAAs.
Brad Sellers. That won't go. Rebound knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Hopson. Ohio State with an 11-point lead as the Buckeyes are going to move on in the NCAA tournament.
Double tick there. Once again, Dave Jones stepping in. Well, he's been a nuisance for Iowa State.
And we're ticking down, and that's the end of the game. The Ohio State Buckeyes of the Big Ten under Eldon Miller have advanced to round 2 of the NCAA Basketball Championships. Johnny Orr of the Iowa State Cyclones. And that's the end of the game with a final score. Ohio State 75, Iowa State 64. We'll return for some closing comments on this afternoon's